Welcome to ElevatePod, where we elevate your mindset, inspire your spirit, and ignite your leadership journey. This podcast is brought to you by Elevate Leadership Services. My name is Pearl.
And I'm Chungu.
We are the co-founders of Elevate Leadership Services and the hosts of ElevatePod. The ElevatePod is dedicated to inspiring and empowering listeners, focusing on minorities and immigrants by offering valuable tools, resources, and pathways to foster personal and professional development.
Thank you, Pearl. Today we are very honored to have Anupama Kinatukara, who will be sharing her amazing journey, her personal experience on the courage to begin. We are going to delve into the fundamental themes that resonate deeply with many of us. The courage to begin somewhere. This topic encapsulates the essence of transformation and personal growth in our lives. Our dreams are often reflected in our outermost desires and aspirations, but the path to realizing them can sometimes feel very overwhelming. The fear of failure or inadequacy can paralyze us, making it difficult to take that crucial first step. Throughout this episode, we will be engaged in candid discussions with Anupama, sharing enlightening personal stories and providing insights designed to inspire and to discover your own courage. We encourage you to, our listeners as well, to take a moment to reflect on your lives. What have you always wanted to start but found yourself hesitating? What dreams are you waiting for you to take that bold first step? As we acknowledge that every journey begins with a single step, let's recognize the challenge that often accompanies the initial leap that we have to take. Self-doubt and fear can creep in, but how can we cultivate the mindset and resilience necessary to push through these obstacles? Let us embark on this journey together. We will explore the courage to begin and uncover how taking those small steps that Anupama took can lead to monumental transformations in our lives. Before I ask Anupama to say something, I would like to give you her short bio. Anupama Kinatukara lives in New Jersey, and she is a certified DISC consultant, motivation speaker, and leadership coach. She is passionate about empowering and equipping women leaders to step out of their comfort zone and start believing in themselves as positive influences with or without a title or position of leadership. Anupama is amongst the top 2,500 in the world to be program management professions, which is abbreviated as PGMP certified in early 2018. She's also a PMP certified since 2007, and she holds a master's degree from IIT in Bombay, now called Mumbai, in mathematics with a specialization in computer science. She has 15 years of experience in managing and implementing IT and non-IT projects with waterfall and agile experience. She has been in leadership role leading IT teams across the globe at Fortune 500 companies like IBM, MetLife, TIAA, Horizon, BCB, SNJ, to name a few, and is on the mission to empower and equip leaders to be challenged and lead on. She is currently serving as a Maxwell President on the Maxwell President Advisory Council leadership team. Anupama, do you have anything you'd like to add to this rich profile of yours?
I am just honored and privileged to be here, and I'm excited for what we are going to be sharing with your viewers.
Thank you. Over to you, Pal.
Thank you again, Anupama, for joining us today, and thank you, everyone. Today, we're embarking on an inspiring conversation about courage. Whether you're considering a personal goal, or contemplating a career change, or pursuing a passion that has long been on your heart, it's the courage to begin that sets everything in motion. Taking that first leap of faith can feel daunting, but it's often the most crucial part of our journey. We'll explore together what it really takes to master that courage, how to overcome that fear that may be holding you back, and this transformative power of stepping outside of your comfort zone. So, throughout today's episode, we'll dive into real life stories, insights that resonate with all of us. So, we'll share practical tips and some strategies to help you find your inner strength, encouraging you not only to dream big, but also to take action towards achieving those dreams. So, if you're ready to unlock your potential and to take that very first step, then let's get started. So we'll dive into our very first question, Anupama. How do you define courage today? And how has that definition evolved throughout your life?
Today, I see courage as reminding myself every day to just be comfortable being uncomfortable. I used to think that courage is being bold, being loud, uh, just doing things that uh, there was a lot of fear in doing things, and it was people who did things that looked brave, only they were courageous. I didn't consider myself as a courageous person before, but now that I have a new definition of courage, hey, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm going to be comfortable being uncomfortable, so I'm courageous.
Ah,
That's awesome. I love
yeah,
that.
I think every event we take, there is those moments of discomfortness,
Mm-hmm.
right? But as you said, is you have to leap, you have to take that leap.
Yep.
But when you look at that leap, when you took that leap, what inner voice first nudged you within yourself to move towards the change or the path that you were going to take so that you became courageous and conquered or attacked your calling? Or,
I used to be a shy introvert. And for those of you who don't know what an introvert or an extrovert is, let me just give you my definition that I have understood and I've been following. I used to think, again, there were a lot of things that I had misconceptions of, and one of them was about an introvert and an extrovert. I used to think an introvert was someone who is always quiet and reserved, and an extrovert is someone who is out there, loud, and very outgoing. What I have understood is an introvert like me is someone who energizes when we are by ourselves. An extrovert is someone who gets energized when they are with people. So I didn't have to be shy and reserved to just be myself, which was an introvert. Now I've shifted from being a shy introvert to a confident introvert. So I'm still an introvert. I still need my alone time to energize. But when I need to speak up, I have learned to speak up and be confident and to share my views. And understanding that I didn't have to change who I am to bring myself out there to share my journey to help others was an eye opener for me because I didn't want to change who I was. So when I realized that hey, I can still be myself, I just need to develop my communication skills, my leadership skills, which is what I've done.
wow. I'm
So
so happy to
wonderful.
see how you've defined that, and I think it's really good because many people who are introvert thinks they have to just stay away. But when you put that now you're a confident introvert, I think that is an awesome thing to say. Yes, if you tap in yourself, then at least you can be able to articulate and you can be able to take that leap forward. So thank you for
Yes.
that definition.
Yes, very wonderful definition. I wish many people would define it that way. It would give many people the courage they need to be themselves,
Mm-hmm.
be comfortable, be themselves, except most times people are trying to fit into other people's boxes or fit into personalities that they feel this is what they want to see. But being confident in your own personality, wow, I like that definition. Thanks for sharing that. My
Before you go to the
Yeah.
next question, I just wanted to find out how did you know that this was really your true calling?
I would say I always knew I'm a woman of faith, so I always knew that my God created me for something great. I knew I wanted to make a big impact and I wanted to impact many lives. Uh, I just didn't know where I would be doing that. I thought it would be in my IT world because that's where I was placed. And I realized that as a consultant, I was not having the privilege to speak to people who are not part of my circle of influence. And I thought my circle of influence was restricted by the people I work with. I When I joined the Maxwell leadership team, my sphere of influence increased. As you know, we when I joined in 2018, we had about 35,000 members in the Maxwell leadership team, which was the John Maxwell team. Now we have 50,000 members. And I realized, hey, that's my circle of influence. I can influence 50,000 people by what I do within the Maxwell leadership team as well as outside. And whenever I started speaking and sharing my story, I was impacting lives. And I knew that that's what I needed to do. And that's my calling to impact lives wherever I can. Doesn't matter if it is in IT or outside IT. It's just the lives of people who come across my path or where our paths cross.
Wonderful. And that's the story we want to hear. As-
You just took it into the next question, right?
yes.
So, can you share a personal story about a time when you had to make a significant change that required deep courage?
When you ask me that question, what comes to my mind is I am someone who, if I am at a job, which I was for almost 15 years, I was working for Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey here in Newark. I started here as a consultant, and then IBM took over the project, and I became an IBM employee, still consulting to Blue Cross Blue Shield for 9 years, 9 months. By around, I think, 8 years or so, I realized that I wanted to also just do something which was different than what I've been doing for the past 10, 12 years at Horizon. So I tried to find opportunity within IBM for work that was outside of the healthcare industry. And unfortunately, due to various reasons, I was not able to be given another assignment. And for a year, I tried negotiating, and I realized it's not going to happen here. So it was up to me to make that change myself. And I was very afraid because I was comfortable having a steady job, not wanting to get out of this particular position. But I also had that desire to do something different. So I reached out to friends and I found an opportunity with MetLife in New York City. So I've never worked going into the city. I've always worked just coming here to Newark, which was like 20 minutes drive for me. And it was in financial industry. I've been working in healthcare for 15 years. So that was a big leap for me, going from healthcare into financial industry, going from just driving 20 minutes to going into New York City, taking a bus, and now working with people I never have met or didn't know. That was a big leap. But again, being a woman of faith, for me, faith is what has allowed me to take those leaps. I knew that I would not be placed in a role if it was not where I needed to be.
Amen.
So I took on that role and I worked there for a year and a half. Uh, I had people who at work who supported me, who mentored me. So it was a big faith, leap of faith, but it all worked out.
Amen. Wonderful.
Nice.
Wonderful. Yeah. Those leaps of faith that we take. So, what would you say to your mentors today if you were to say something?
I have actually told them, I've reached out to them throughout my journey, letting them know how grateful I was for their mentoring, how grateful I was for their pushing, because sometimes they had to push me. I wasn't someone who was volunteering to take on additional responsibilities. I had to get myself into that rhythm of allowing myself to be again comfortable in uncomfortable roles. I have started passing that on and challenging others, and that's why the motto of my company is "Be challenged and lead on." Because I realize sometimes we do need to challenge others, and Chibe can vouch to that. I do challenge people as I'm mentoring, saying, "No, you can do this. This is possible, right? We need to stretch people a little bit." So I've learned to pass it on, and I welcome when I am challenged. Yes, it's still not easy, but I know that it is for my good, for my growth, and I take my own time, but I have learned to accept it with a grain of salt sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And talking about challenges, I think we do face big and small challenges. And some of the challenges actually define who we are. And they leave a lasting mark on us so that we'll never be the same, right? And during that process, we go through a journey, and the journey that transforms us. And as we overcome them, we become the best versions of ourselves. So, besides the challenge that you talked about now, what are the biggest challenge have you faced that has transformed you to be the best mentor that you have become and the best coach that you have become?
Joining the Maxwell leadership team in September of 2018, uh, I joined only because I wanted to become a better leader in the IT world. I knew I was going to get back into IT. I was in between jobs when I joined the team. I did my program management professional certification during that time, and I was interviewing. And I, as everybody does, got into give many interviews, but was not seeing good responses, especially since I knew at this point in my life, in that phase in my life, I was looking for something bigger. I wasn't ready to just take on any job that was offered to me because I had quite a bit of experience and I had now this new certification, which I thought would give me the credibility that companies were looking for. But that was not the case. I wasn't getting opportunities that I was seeking. And I decided then to try the entrepreneurial world and become a certified speaker, coach, and trainer. And started hosting mastermind groups, bringing people together, teaching John Maxwell's book. I started speaking at various project management chapters, various organizations, Rotary clubs, Toastmasters Club. I participated in Toastmasters speech contest and won up to the district level. I was a third place winner at the district level in my first year as a Toastmaster. So all that did not come easy. every single time I had to do something that I had not done before, my heart would beat so loud. I used to feel like everybody outside of me can hear my heartbeat. But in spite of the fear, in spite of feeling like I did not belong, I decided that I'm going to take that one step forward and just try things out, see where it takes me, but also reflecting on how things were going because I did not want to be on the wrong track for too long. I've tried many things. I tried teaching at a local community college. I tried becoming a financial advisor for one of the companies. I took the exams and got licensed as well. I tried teaching at a middle school as a makerspace teacher. So I tried various things, and ultimately I decided that I needed to get back into IT. And the past 8 months, been back in IT working as a project manager, but still, I love adding value to others. I love sharing my journey, and that's why I'm here as well. And I run a speakers club, a Maxwell Speakers Club, where I help people build their confidence to share their journey, to share their story.
Yeah. And I can attest to that. Yeah, because you helped me contribute to me being more of a dynamic speaker than a monolithic speaker. So I truly appreciate that. So, yeah.
Truly a story of courage, I can see. Yeah, you have shared some challenges that you faced in your journey. I'm wondering if there was ever a time when you felt like giving up and what kept you going in that moment.
Many times I felt like giving up, especially when it came to financially. The entrepreneurial journey was big, uh, a big leap for me because I was used to having a steady income, and now all of a sudden I'm trying to figure out how to pay my bills. Uh, so there were times when I just knelt down and prayed and asked God to open a door for me, to speak to people on behalf of me. I reached out to my inner circle. So in this entrepreneurial journey, I learned to connect with people who are different than me, who are similar to me. I learned to really open up and share with folks who were one step ahead of me, so that I can learn from them. I started reading a lot of books. Started listening to a lot of podcasts like yours. It has really helped me stay on track because sometimes you don't really get to reach out and talk to someone. Sometimes when you need that push, when you need that motivation, it might just be a podcast that will speak to you. It might just be a book that you're reading, right? So I keep all that very close to me now. Even now, when I'm driving to work, I have an hour-long drive. I listen to podcasts. I listen to audiobooks, and that's how I keep myself motivated.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the other question I have, I think you talked a little bit about starting and restarting. And normally that can be very exhausting. So, how does this sense of why, how has it supported you, especially when you started so many things? You wanted to become an advisor, financial advisor, and you said you took all the training that year, and it's not a small thing. You had to go through those training and so many hours, and maybe financial obligations as well. But how did the sense of why support you in this starting over and over to make sure that you embarked on something new that was yours? and that you felt, I think I have arrived?
In the entrepreneurial journey, since it was completely a new journey for me, my why was I need to take care of my family. I need to be able to pay my bills. I need health insurance, right? Because here in US, that's if you don't have health insurance, it's a nightmare.
It's expensive.
So that was my strong why. I needed to try things that would help me uh, sustain what the lifestyle that we had. Uh, Later on, once I realized that yes, I do need to pay my bills, but I also want to do what I love. I don't want to just make money and be miserable. So that is where I was ready to try different things to see, other than being in IT as a project manager, what else do I love? What else can I afford to do? So I enjoyed teaching at the middle school that I was mentioning. I taught at a Christian school, and for 8 months, I taught middle school students. I learned myself how to use a 3D printer, how to use the laser engraving, how to do wood carving. So those were creative things that I had not done for a very long time, and I got to learn from a senior teacher and be able to teach the students, and that was really very rewarding. I made my own mouse pad with pictures. I did a lot of things which really allowed me to see a creative side of me that I didn't know myself. But I also knew that that was not going to sustain me for too long because, as you all probably know, teachers don't get paid too much. So I needed to find something that, again, I could continue to do what I love, which is adding value to others, being able to encourage and empower women leaders to be able to do more, be more, and become more, because that's what I had become in my journey. I was someone who just did my job and stayed under the radar because I was a working mom of 3 kids, and I thought I I had just limited time. I did not want to have to stretch myself so much, so thin that I could not do a good job as a mom, as a working woman. So now I know it was not about managing my time. It's about priorities. So now I set my priorities right. I still have the same 24 hours like everybody else does, but I have learned to utilize the time well.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
Wow. Very well said. And you have just answered a part of the question I was waiting to ask. I was going to ask how embracing new beginnings has taught you many things in life. Like, what has it taught you? And you've somehow touched on that after trying the many things, you still needed to do more. You still wanted to find fulfillment. You still wanted to add value to others, encouraging other women, which is really good. It sounds like you found that balance, which is very important. I believe for all of us as women, working mom myself, just finding the balance and priority, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave that question alone. And my last one would be, what would you say to another woman listening right now? How has all of this influenced your life? And what can you say to another woman?
Yeah.
I wish somebody had told me early on in my life that I had a lot of limiting beliefs, that I was the one getting in my own way. I was the one who was not allowing myself to really reach my full potential. Uh, I also wish somebody had told me that they are there for me, that they are ready to support me, mentor me, coach me, to encourage me when I needed that nudge. So for me, well, that's what I'm trying to do for other women. I'm reaching out saying, I'm here for you. I believe in you. till you believe in yourself. I want you to know that this is possible. My word for this year, 2025, is possibilities. Every year, I pick a word for the year. Since 2019, I started picking a word for the year, and it has really helped me. I picked possibilities because when I started this job with my at the middle school, one of the teachers kept telling me from like in September is when I joined. She kept telling me, Anupama, the possibilities are endless because I was still learning so many new things. And she kept telling me about these possibilities. And that was something that wanted to remind myself every day that the possibilities are endless. And that's how recently I was able to speak at a project management global summit in Phoenix, Arizona, in front of 500 people because I never imagined speaking in front of 5 people before, but the possibilities are endless. So I put myself out there. So I would say the possibilities are endless. Just be challenged and lead on. And if you need help, reach out to other women around that you see who are ready to help. There may be some who might push back, but there are others like us who want to add value to others. So just reach out.
Yeah. You know,
Wonderful.
thank you. There is something that I want to ask regarding the 3D printer before I go to any.
Go
I,
ahead.
I know, I think I remember maybe talking to you, I think when you mentioned the 3D printer, maybe in our conversation sometime back. But did you said that you made your own mouse? Did you make your own mouse from the 3D printer?
No, so I made a mouse
Okay.
pad. No, no, no. I made the mouse pad with the picture, but with the 3D printer, I was able to. Uh, so we made the keychains
Okay.
for students with their names on it. We were making. We were trying to make different kind of images.
Okay.
So the students were taught how to make that, and something that I would like to share is the first time I saw a 3D printer was after my interview. I was given a 3D printer to take home so that I could practice. And the first question I had was, where do you put the paper? And I realized that a 3D printer does not use a paper, but I did not know.
Yeah.
That's how much I knew about a 3D printer. But why I'm sharing that is that did not stop me from learning more and teaching the kids how to use a 3D printer.
Wonderful.
Right? Someone who had no idea what the 3D printer is was given the opportunity, and I am so grateful for the opportunities that people give others in spite of knowing that, hey, this person might not have the skill, but it's a skill that person can learn because it's because of who I was, right? They looked at who I was and not just what I could bring to the table because they knew I could learn it and bring a lot of things to the table, which I did.
Yes, the world of possibilities, as the
Yes.
lady said. Wonderful. So,
Yes.
my question now is you have used various tools, you have used various practices, you have used various routines to help you build and continue to sustain your courage
Mm-hmm.
and continue to step in unknown territories that actually you're now comfortable in. So, what are those tools that you've used that you can share with the audience so that they can maybe use them? Probably you can give them maybe 1 or 3 steps as to some of the tools you've used so that it's a 1, 2, 3 or one,
Mm-hmm.
two, five, so
I,
that it
I
can
would
support them.
say I would say there are about 3 things that I would ask your audience to keep in mind, especially when they are stepping out of their comfort zone. First is you have to be really intentional, but not just have good intentions. Like our mentor John Maxwell says, good intentions aren't enough, right? We need to take action. So have good intentions, but also be intentional about taking action, identifying one thing that you're going to do, even right after listening to this. What's one thing that you plan to do this week, right? And the second thing I would say is let people know that you have decided to do this. And you might see on my social media, I've started sharing my journey. Even before I do things, I say, I'm going to go speak at the TEDx event, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to participate in a Toastmasters speech contest. I say that because I'm declaring and letting people know this is what I'm committing to do so that I don't back off, right?
Yes,
Since I put myself out there, now I need to come back and showcase that I've done it.
I've done it. Yeah.
So first be intentional about it, and then make sure that you are sharing your journey along the way. And finally, I would say celebrate. Because if you are not going to celebrate your journey, you will not try something different. So for me, being intentional and putting myself out there, sharing my journey and celebrating at the end of it has allowed me to repeat that cycle over and over again and try new things.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Those are easy steps that anybody can take. As you said, they have to be actionable. So thank you
Yeah.
very much.
All right.
You have the
Those are
last
steps I
question?
intend to take for myself as well. No last questions from me. So taking down those steps for me to take after this episode. So if you have any last words and before we conclude, Chiwe.
Yes, I think I just want you to, I think you've given, I think the steps are all the advice to our audience, our listeners. And if you had maybe just one parting word that you can give to our listeners, what would that be?
Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is facing fear right in the face and saying, I got this.
Yes. That's by Nelson Mandela, and I had that quote. That's wonderful.
I
Thank you.
got this.
I got this. No,
Wow.
thank you so much, Anupama, for enlightening us, but also for adding value to our listeners.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's a wonderful. It's wonderful to have you because the information that you've shared will help others. Understanding that being in an introvert doesn't mean that you can't speak out.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure having you at ElevatePod and hearing your amazing journey that has just morphed you into this wonderful mentor coach that is making the world a better place. Yeah. And as we wrap up this episode, to you, please remember that every great change begins with a single step that is fueled by courage and self belief, just like what you saw in the discussion we had today. So, embracing the courage to begin is often the hardest part in each and every one of us, but it's also the most transformative aspect if we take the time to take the leap. And as she said, the Nelson quote, it reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. So, whatever your next chapter may be, have faith in your power to start. The world needs your bravery, the world needs your dreams, and the world needs your unique stories. Take the first step, the adventure awaits you. And with what Arthur Ashe, I think many of you may remember him, he was a tennis player. He says, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. So thank you, Anupama, for joining us and to our audience. Stay courageous and keep moving forward.
Thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Chibe.
Thank you, Anupama. What a wonderful session. As we conclude today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. The moment you decide to take that first step, you're already on your way to transformation. Courage isn't the absence of fear, as we have heard, but it's the determination to move forward despite it. Zig Ziglar says you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So remember, every new beginning is an opportunity to rediscover your strength, to rewrite your story, and to turn your dreams into a reality. So take a deep breath, trust in your journey, and have the courage to begin. Your future self will thank you for it later. And as we have heard, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step. We hope to see you all in the next episode. Thank you for joining us on this journey to elevate and inspire. Until next time, lead with purpose and grow with passion.